Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Concerned Christians Outreach. Once again, calling on you and reminding you that Jesus Christ is coming back the second time to take his anointed people to his everlasting kingdom. Are you wondering when the appointed time will be, when Jesus will come? Are you saying that they've been saying this thousands of years ago and he has not yet come? Jesus himself has said that he will come as a thief in the night. That is, you don't expect a thief. A thief comes to your house when you do not expect it. So he will just come. All he needs from us now is for us to prepare for his coming. And that is why I'm calling on you to make amends with your marriage and your family, so that when Jesus comes, you'll be able to be one of those he will take to his everlasting kingdom. And you will not partake in all the troubles that will overtake the world. So, during the last discussion, we started to look at marriage as a divine institution. It is an institution that we should respect. It is an institution that is set up by God. So it is divinely set up, and we do not just handle it anyhow. So we want today, we want to see at things that show that we are getting ready for marriage. Readiness in marriage. Yes, I can see that my young man and young lady, they want to get married, perhaps sometimes this year. Please pay attention and see where you are amiss and make corrections. Now, marriage readiness means when a bachelor or spinster who is willing to marry meets the necessary conditions that are required for a successful marriage. Some of the necessary conditions to be met by a person planning to get married are, remember I've told you, you are getting ready. If you want to get ready, that means you must fulfill some conditions as part of your readiness, evidence of readiness. And we want to look at these conditions that you have to meet. The first one is physiological fitness, which means biological maturity. Marriage is not meant for children. It's not meant for children. 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, those are still children. It is not meant for children. The two persons who want to get married must be matured physically. They are supposed to have attained adult status in terms of age. And we can see this in Genesis 2, verses 19 to 20. They should be growing up. Their age will tell if they are physically matured. But a child of 15 years, 16 years getting married, no. Remember, marriage is divinely instituted, and this is according to God's directive. You must be physically, biologically matured to get married. Then, secondly, you must be psychologically fit to get married. To be psychologically fit to get married, what we mean is that the people planning to get married should be able to control their emotions and feelings. This is also called emotional stability. Children throw tantrums. Anybody who is still throwing tantrums is not matured and not fit. Somebody cannot control his or her emotions is not fit. It's not yet matured to get married. And you can see evidence of this in Genesis 2, verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. The third condition is you must be socially stable. Marriage is meant for people who understand and relate well with other people. They must understand each other's problems and show concern for them. You must be socially stable. 4, you must be financially ready. This means persons who want to marry must have a meaningful source of income to enable the marriage succeed. And if we are now talking about having a reasonable income, that means when you as a man take in a woman as your wife, you must expect children. So, with this in mind, this will now, for you to be able to fulfill this condition, you have to think about the purpose of marriage. It is what you know the purpose of marriage, and this will help you to plan. The purpose of marriage includes procreation. The main purpose is to get children, because God says, go and multiply, go and replenish. No, only 2 people, even the animals, only a male and a female in each type. Now God now commands them, go and procreate. 2, there must be sexual satisfaction in marriage. People also get married because of regulated and approved sexual satisfaction. In Genesis 2, verse 25, it is written, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. In the beginning, the man and woman were naked in each other's presence and were not ashamed. There is no shame in nudity when it occurs within the right context, that is, marital union. This passage clearly teaches that 1. Sex was God's idea and it is not sinful. So if you marry and you have sex with your wife, it is not sinful. It is God's idea. And that is why you should have sex in decent ways. 2. Sex came before the fall. And if the fall had never taken place, there still would be sexual relations between a man and his wife. 3. Propagation of the species is one, but not the exclusive purpose for sex. The Bible gives 2 other reasons for sex. 1. To promote love between husband and wife. And 2. To prevent fornication, that is, the unlawful satisfaction of the God-given sexual desire. Now we want to look at the third reason, the purpose of marriage. And the third purpose is for companionship. If we look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, and the Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him." Remember that when God made animals, he made them male and female. Only Adam was created. Then God saw the vacuum in not making Adam, giving Adam a female. And he said, "It is not good for the man to live alone. I will make him a person who is comparable to him, who will be his helper." So you must know that the purpose of marriage is for companionship. Companionship. So when you marry, the husband lives in London, the wife lives in Abeokuta. Is there any companionship in that? Every effort should be made for both of you to be together. Then the fourth purpose of marriage is growth in mutual love and help. Genesis 2 verses 21 to 24 explain that God caused Adam to go to sleep, and God removed one of his ribs and made a woman whom Adam recognized as being his equal. Bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. This resulted in what has to become known as the universal law of marriage, in which it can be seen that 1. The responsibility for marriage is on the man's shoulders. You man, you are listening? The responsibility for the marriage is on your shoulder. He is to leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. B. The responsibility for keeping the union together is on the man's shoulders. I hope you men, you are listening. It is what you make your home that it will be. And this is what God is telling us. The responsibility for marriage is on the man's shoulder. The responsibility for keeping the union together is on the man's shoulders. He is to be joined to his wife. And 3, the union is indissoluble. They shall become one flesh. So we can conclude that love, the primary one, financial help, and material exchanges also make people to get married. So no wonder God made the man the head of the family. So don't just say, I'm the head of the family. Know the responsibilities that are attached to your headship. You are to be responsible for the marriage. You are to keep the marriage to see that the marriage does not break, and you are to leave your father and mother and cleave to your wife. May God bless us.